These are the stories topping the news. Caribbean ministers adopt 10-point plan to fight Ebola. Bahamians respond to Haitian ambassador's remarks. And Republicans win control of Senate. Good afternoon and welcome to ZIZ Midday Newscast for Wednesday, November 5th. I'm Carla Berridge. Now the news in detail. St. Kitts and Nevis's Prime Minister and other Caribbean leaders have adopted a 10-point plan of action to ensure the deadly Ebola virus disease does not reach the region. Cuba is also expected to play an integral part in the initiative. The announcement was made after a 4-hour meeting held at the Diplomatic Center in St. Anne's, Trinidad on Tuesday, which also centered on the chikungunya virus outbreak. The plan, which is referred to as Stop Ebola There and Here, SETH, also included measures to seek financial support for non-governmental organizations and business communities. Prime Minister of Antigua, Gaston Brown, who chaired the press conference, said the discussion focused on the possible health impact of the virus and also the possibilities of the economic and social consequences one case could have. Responses to the disease must be a community effort. No member state of CARICOM must battle these public health challenges on its own. Prasad Bisesar, who endorsed Brown's statement, said there would be the establishment of a regional rapid response team known as Carib React. This team, she added, would be integral in ensuring quick response and attention to any member state and would be able to provide support to national response teams to contain any outbreak. The country's medical officer, Dr. Patrick Martin, has described as encouraging healthcare workers' decision to volunteer to work in the front line to fight Ebola. Dr. Martin said on Tuesday that officials are likely to be assigned to the Ebola unit if an Ebola case reaches the Federation. He added, however, that a handful of healthcare workers had already volunteered.
We asked nurses and doctors to volunteer to work in our Ebola unit should we need one. And so far we have 7 between the 2 islands. That was encouraging because there was the suspicion that people will pack up and leave this health system.
After several years of dormancy, the Keon High School is reviving its talented teen pageant with a show this Saturday. During this morning's assembly, the 5 contestants introduced themselves to the staff and students of the school.
Greetings. I am 14-year-old Lakeisha Benny, your contestant number 1 for this year's CHS teen pageant, representing the platform of modern languages. I am 15-year-old Lavida Ale, contestant number 2, actual representative of business studies. I am 12 years old junior apprentice, contestant number 3, representing natural sciences. A pleasant good morning, staff and students. Standing before you, I am 14-year-old Tahiwa Dua, your contestant number 4. Good morning, staff and students of the Keon High School. I am 14-year-old Tikwante Berridge and a representative of the Miss Industrial Art, I think.
Meanwhile, in an effort to aid in the success of the show, TDC Group of Companies and BJ Fireworks donated to the event.
The TDC Group of Companies is very pleased to support the Keon High School talented teen pageant. This is just a token of our appreciation because we believe in events like these. As you continue to support young women, we believe in empowerment and we believe in self-confidence. So on behalf of the TDC Group of Companies, I'd like to ask Ms. Morton to present our sponsorship package to Mr. Jessup.
On behalf of BJ Fireworks, I would like to present this token of sponsorship to Keon High School in aid to having a successful pageantry on Saturday. So on behalf of the entire team, I'd like to present to you this token.
The platforms to be represented at the pageant include modern languages, business studies, natural sciences, and industrial arts. In regional news, Bahamians are reacting strongly to the remarks made by the Haitian ambassador to the Bahamas, His Excellency Sir Antonio Rodriguez, who was critical of the implementation of the new immigration policy. We hear more in this report.
I think you have to have heart, you have to have, humanity, but you have to address the situation of those kids born here.
It's this strong comment made by Haitian Ambassador Antonio Rodriguez during Monday's edition of the Bahamas Tonight that has outright offended many Bahamians who are now calling for the Haitian diplomat to be recalled immediately.
I think you need to go ahead, resign, send somebody else here who have some sort of sense who's going to be aiding our Prime Minister and assisting with the illegal population here.
In our country, we are doing them a favor, right? And by doing them a favor, they're supposed to humble.
They need to go back where they're from, and they're too bigoty.
The Haitians have their country, the Bahamians have their country, and it is our country, and we could decide how we want to run our affairs.
Additionally, there are many Bahamians who feel that governments of the day took far too long to deal with this immigration problem, which has enabled illegal migrants to feel that they are more than equal in this country.
Take a little bit too long. From they burn the Bahamian flag, they're supposed to be deported out here.
How our government could give them privilege to have Flag Day in the Bahamas? On top of that, they have actually disfigured our flag by burning it. They also had parades for their various leaders in the Bahamas.
Immigration Minister Fred Mitchell recently revealed that it cost the government roughly $32,000 to repatriate illegal migrants to their homeland on a daily basis. And some Bahamians feel this should not be the government's responsibility.
When most of them come here, they've already gotten everything free. I mean, and some of them are they owned restaurants and fruit stands and all of this stuff. Why not have them pay their own ticket back?
He claims that they don't have no money to repatriate the Haitians, but then he comes back on TV a couple of days later and said they lost $20,000 in the safe. But you know how much Haitians they could repatriate back with that?
When you come into this country legal, then you have your children, they born here illegal. You understand? It becomes now a burden on the country that they exist in.
And while the public outcry on the Haitian ambassador's comments continue to mount even on social media, Immigration Department officials continue to spread the message that if you are not legally living or working here in the Bahamas, you must return to your homeland. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
Antigua and Barbuda's shopkeepers and store owners who fail to clearly indicate the price of goods and services that are sold on the market could be prosecuted. That warning came from the Prices and Consumers Affairs Division after it received a series of complaints from members of the public. St. Clair Richardson, the acting director of the division, said consumers have complained of having to ask for the price of certain goods and services at the point of sale, which is against the law. He said if the prices are not attached to products, this creates a major problem to people who are trying to purchase items in question. Business owners who fail to heed the warning could be taken to court. Internationally, victory means Republicans now control both chambers of the Congress, complicating Obama's final 2 years in office. The Republicans increased their majority in the House of Representatives and took a number of governorships away from the Democrats, including President Obama's home state of Illinois. We hear more in this report.
The man who's likely to be the new Senate Majority Leader. Mitch McConnell celebrates his win in Kentucky, one far easier than predicted, and one that set the tone for a night of sweeping Republican gains in both houses of Congress.
Tomorrow, the papers will say, I won this race. But the truth is, tonight we begin another one that's far more important than mine. And that's the race to turn this country around.
A runoff was predicted in the Georgia Senate race amid speculation that neither candidate could achieve an outright win.
I think Georgia's made it loud and clear tonight.
But what was supposed to be a close race became yet another comfortable Republican victory. There will be a runoff in Louisiana, and at least one Democratic senator who will live to fight another day.
Louisiana's worth fighting for. Join me. Let's get some rest tonight and hit the campaign trail in the morning. God bless you all. Thank you.
The Republicans increased their majority in the House of Representatives and took a number of governorships away from the Democrats, including President Obama's home state of Illinois. And the president could struggle to implement domestic and foreign policy in the face of both houses controlled by the opposition.
I think we're going to see a much more aggressive foreign policy from the United States. I think we're going to see much less foreign aid. I think the president's going to have a lot less room to negotiate with the Iran nuclear deal. He's going to have less room to negotiate when it comes to Ukraine. And I think that the U.S. peace process, any negotiations with Palestine and Israel, are going to get much more hawkish. I think Obama's going to be very constrained. He wants to make promises to the world, but he's going to have to come back and get approval from a Congress that doesn't want to work with him.
It is estimated that 1 in 5 of the world's school-age girls do not have access to education. But one woman, Ann Cotton, has helped more than 3 million children, mainly girls, get an education in rural and impoverished areas of sub-Saharan Africa. Al Jazeera's Erica Wood reports.
What are you going to read today?
She started her charity CamFed International 20 years ago.
Oh, it's a difficult word.
Since then, Ann Cotton's helped more than 3 million children get an education, mainly girls in rural and impoverished areas of sub-Saharan Africa.
The winner is the founder of CamFed, Ann Cotton.
Along with the prestige of the award comes $500,000 in prize money, which Ann says will be reinvested in more education programs. She says it's poverty, not culture, that keeps girls from school.
We really have to recognize that in rural areas of Africa, in the hardest to reach places, girls can't go to school without support. Families are just too poor. They want their daughters to go to school. You know, money is a fundamental way.
In the 2 decades Anne's been helping girls, she's created a new generation of leaders, doctors, lawyers, accountants and teachers.
But this award doesn't just recognise Ann Cotton's work, it's also a recognition of the importance of women's education. Because if you teach a girl to read and write, you don't just benefit her, you also benefit her family and wider community in terms of food security, economic opportunities and health.
And all the evidence shows that women, when they secure an income, contribute dramatically more of that income to the family, to the household, than to men.
Some of the first girls to benefit from Anne's work in Zimbabwe 20 years ago are now working alongside her at CamFed as adults. Patricia Wangoma is one of them.
The work of CamFed in Zimbabwe is in the deep rural communities where it's hard to reach, where there are transport challenges, where there are communication challenges. So we are looking at, without the support that I got from CamFed, I think I wouldn't be who I am today.
Now the weather. The skies today will be partly sunny along with showers later this afternoon. Temperatures will reach a high of 30 degrees and a low of 25 degrees. Winds are expected to blow from the east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunset this evening will be at approximately 5:38 p.m. That's it for ZIZ's Midday Newscast. Join us at 6:30 and 7 p.m. for the evening news. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kyla Barrage.